As I've just mentioned, Charles Darwin's idea, descent with modification, is, when we break it down, a pretty simple idea, but one that has far reaching consequences. So, his conceptual framework explains the incredible diversity of life forms that we see all around this planet, and it makes clear that all of these lineages, from the birds, the mammals, the reptiles, the fish, the plants, the fungi, the protists, the microbes, all of these lineages ultimately merge and are related through lines of descent across billions of years of time. So his idea, as described in painstaking detail in On the Origin of Species, rests on two irrefutable observations about the natural world, and then on two logical steps forward, two inferences. What do I mean by the word irrefutable? I mean that these observations are facts about nature, and even the most ardent creationist cannot argue about these fundamental observations. It's just the way things are. The first observation that Darwin makes about nature is that when we look at a population of organisms, so remember, a population of organisms is a localized group of individuals of the same species that are capable of interbreeding. When we look at a population of individuals, we inevitably observe that individuals vary in their inherited traits. So consider this flock of rock doves, which you probably know as pigeons. So no two individuals are exactly the same. So some are iridescent, some are dark across their entire bodies, some are lightly colored, some are rust colored. And that's just the variation that we see on the surface in their plumage. These pigeons inherited the genes for feather pigmentation from their parents. And those genes that they inherited from their parents and the resultant phenotypes or physical appearances vary from one individual to the next within populations across all species. It doesn't matter if we're talking about populations of pigeons, pythons. Look at all those beautiful python morphs, how variable each of these individual snakes are. But it doesn't matter if we're talking about populations of pigeons, pythons, or panthers. There's the famous Black Panther. These are actually African leopards, pigeons, pythons, panthers, even populations of people. That's right. We know this. It's a fundamental fact of life. Individuals vary. Some of us have dark skin. Some of us have moderate skin tones. Some of us have lighter skin tones. Some of us have curly hair. Some of us have straight hair. Some of us have brown eyes. Some of us have green eyes. Some of us have blue eyes. The list goes on and on. On a side note, why do humans have variable skin tones? Is this random? Let me be very clear right at the outset that skin tones in humans do not correlate with intelligence levels, morality, work ethic, or any other racist bullshit. Skin tone is merely a function of how much melanin that you have in your skin. So, melanin is a pigment that protects human skin from harmful ultraviolet radiation, which is known to mutate the DNA and cause cancer. If your ancestors are from tropical or subtropical latitudes, more melanin was selected for to protect the skin from strong ultraviolet radiation that bathes humans and their ancestors through long, bright, sunny days. However, if your ancestors hail from more northerly latitudes, less melanin was actually selected for, so the body could produce enough vitamin D during those short winter days. Vitamin D is crucially important for bone growth and teeth, the absorption of calcium. My broader point: racism is purely a human construct. Biologically, it is absolute fact that our differences are truly only skin deep. So, if you'd like to learn a bit more about the biology of skin color, so that way the next time that you encounter a racist argument, you can combat it with science, check out Module 1, extra credit opportunity in Canvas. It's called The Biology of Skin Color. It's well worth your time. Super interesting historically.